Hi everyone, today I'll be talking about plaint. As we know, this covers under Order 7 Rule 1 Section 26 of CPC, in which a plaint is a legal document that contains the contents of any civil suit which shows the plaintiff claims after filing the suit. The plaint is the first step of a plaintiff in which the form of a legal document for the commencement of suit. It shows that what plaintiff wants from that suit actually. The concept of plaint is mentioned in the civil procedure code as we know. Through the help of the plaint, the plaintiff narrates or describes the cause of action and related information which is considered as a essential from the point of suit which is filed from the plaintiff. And in the case of plaint, the cause of action consists of two divisions. First is a legal theory in which it states that factual situation based on which the plaintiff claims to have suffered. And second is that a legal remedy that the plaintiff seeks from the court. A plaint is considered as an important concept because it is a foremost and initial stage to initiate any lawsuit in the court and helps to find a civil court and a civil court for an appropriate jurisdiction. Hence, this covers under Order 7 and Rule 1, Section 26 of CPC. So next, we'll be talking about what is the necessary contents of the plaint which is required. So, firstly, the plaint should contain the name of the commercial or a civil court where a suit will be initiated. Next one is a plaint should contain a detail of plaintiff such as a name, address, and description. Next one is that a plaint should contain the name, residence, and description of defendant. Firstly, there should be name of description and place residence of plaintiff, and secondly, even the defendant place and name, residence, and description of defendant should be mentioned. And next content is that when a plaintiff has some defects or problems in health or any type of disability, the plaint should contain a statement of this effects effects which it should be stated particularly by the plaintiff or a defendant when there is this defects or disability of any health conditions which he has. Next content is that the plaint should contain the facts due to which a cause of action arises and the way the cause of action arises, and it should also mention from which part of it arises between the defendant and the plaintiff. Next content is that um, plaintiff should plaint should not only mention the facts due to which the cause of action arises, but also those facts which helps in recognizing the jurisdiction. So when he mentions any facts which facts in the cause of action which arises between the parties, and this helps to these facts also should help to find out the jurisdiction, which jurisdiction it belongs to. And next content is that plaint should also contains about the relief which a plaintiff seeking from the court. So this we all know the relief which the plaintiff claims, where the plaintiff has allowed a set of relinquished of a portion of its claim, the amount so allowed. So such that we should mention under this content. Next content is that when a plaintiff is ready to set off a portion of his claim, the plaint should contain the amount which has been allowed. Next content, plaint should contain the statement of a value of the subject of suit, not only for the purpose of jurisdiction but also for the purpose of court fees. Next one is at last the content should be on the plaint in the plaintiff's verification or note. In a money suit, a state's precise amount should be in the money suit, especially in the civil case which is filed for the money. It should precisely state the amount to be claimed. In a case of involved property, the plaint should contain a description of the property, which shall be sufficient to identify it. And next one is every plaint shall state specifically the relief that is claimed, and the relief may be claimed either simply or in the alternative form. Next one is there are something called rejection of plaint. The plaint shall be rejected in certain situation when the requirements are not fulfilled. Some of the situations in which the plaint is rejected are as um, the plaint is rejected in a case where the cause of action is not disclosed. If the case of cause of action is not disclosed, then it is possible to prove the damage caused to the plaintiff. To seek relief against the defendant, the facts need to be mentioned clearly. And next one is the plaint is also rejected in a case where the plaintiff uh, relieves in a undervalued, and the plaintiff is requested by the court to correct the valuation within the given time frame but the plaintiff fails to do so. So that is when the rejection of a plaint will arise. Next, next one is the plaint is rejected in a case where all the documents are not properly stamped, and plaintiff on being required by the court to supply the required stamp papers within a time to be fixed by the court fails to do. So this is when the rejection of plaint happens. Next rejection when it happens that the plaint is mostly rejected due to a statement mentioned in the plaint secured by the law by any law or statute that does not give any right to plaintiff to file a suit. Next one is uh, when the when a duplicate copy of a plaint is not submitted, where it is mentioned that it is mandatory to submit the duplicate copy, then in this condition plaint is liable to be dismissed. Next one next one was that which says that the last rejection was that the plaint is rejected when the plaintiff fails to comply with the provision under Rule 9 of Order 7 of CPC. Okay. Now we'll see that what are the landmark cases for the plaint to be rejected. So first one is Kala Kalapur Pal Subramaniam versus Sigguti Venkata. In this case, what happened was that it was said that the plaint cannot be rejected in a part and retain part under this rule. It was said that the plaintiff cannot reject only one part, and it can maintain in another part. If the plaintiff is rejected, it will reject only, and not with a rejection of one part and accept for another. This judgment is considered as a landmark judgment on the rejection of the plaint. Next case is Sopan Sukdo Sable and Oz versus Assistant Charity Commissioner. In this case, what happened was that it was held that where the suit was at stage of recording, when the suit is in the stage of recording of the evidence, and an application under Order 7 Rule 11 of Code was filed to delay the proceedings of the suit. The application under Order 7 Rule 11 of the Code was rejected. So in this case, when the application or evidence, when the application is in the evidence stage or recording stage, when the application is filed under Order 7 or Rule 11 of the Code, and if such order is delayed or evidence is delayed by giving, then such suit will be rejected. Next and last case I mentioned here is Kuldeep Singh versus Patina versus Bhimkaram Singh Jailal. In this case, what was held that the court held that for an application under Order 7 Rule 11A Clause A of CPC, only the pleadings of the plaintiff can be looked into, and neither written statement nor arguments can be considered for inquiry. And I like to mention another few cases in this, in which I have not put in the slides. That is Bihar's Mohan Mukherjee versus Aricharan Banerjee. In this case, what was happened that it was held that order rejecting a plaint is the decree, and hence it is applicable and binding in the cases which involves the rejection of plaint. Next case I want to discuss was Roja versus US Rayu. In this court, what was held that And any application for the rejection of a plaint under Order 7, Rule 11 of the Code of CPC can be filed at any stage, and the court has to dispose of the same proceedings with the trial court. Next one is why, like, there are like few proceedings where, when the court wants what is the procedures to file the plaint. Firstly, uh, the drafting of the plaint should be done, and print the plaint in a green sheet with the index, with an affidavit to be attached, and the list of documents to be attached, and there should be at last wakalatnama should be attached with the plate. And lastly, the green sheet with the wakalatnama should be stitched and submitted to the security department, and the scrutiny department will provide a FIR number, and the court fee should be verified by the advocate, and the registration should be done. While if the scrutinization officer did not find any documents or missing of documents, he will reject the plaint, or he will give the court number, in which based on FNN they will give the court hall number and the case number, and the registrar will say that to submit such and such documents in the court, and this is what under civil court, the procedures of how to file a plaint in the civil court. And lastly, the plaint is on a concept that is emerged to file in the field of a law for the better knowledge of the point of the conflicts and the facts between the parties. So, if any cases, if a people want to file any cases in the court or court under some jurisdiction, the first and the initial stage is that it is plain, and it is very important to file the plaint before filing any written statement. And hence, this is what about plaint, and I hope this video helpful for you. And in next coming up videos, I'll be talking about a written statement. And thank you.